Well, hey, strangers. It has been over a year since you've heard my voice. You have not had the opportunity to see me yet because, quite frankly, I couldn't figure out how to record my voice and my face at the same time. But thanks to some folks on TikTok, I was able to figure that out, and I've got my own little setup now. So I'm no longer in the studio I was formerly using, and I'm not where I typically would record if I have guests. As you can see, I'm in my bedroom. I'm in my bedroom recording Momstrosity podcast because I wanted my first episode back to just be laid back, kind of give you a rundown of where I have been. And also, if you're new here, you get to put a name with the face. So that's exciting. So if you're on my YouTube or my social media channels, you're going to get to see the face behind Momstrosity podcast. And well, wouldn't you have it? That's me. Hello, everybody. My name is Kelsie. I am the host of Momstrosity podcast. This is my baby, and I know the name sort of throws people off, so let me just start there. Momstrosity is not just a place for moms. It was never meant to be a place for moms. Honestly, I just came up with the name from, well, being a mom and living in the chaos of life, and I'm like, gosh, early on in the early stages of motherhood, I'm like, this is a Momstrosity. And I actually wrote a postpartum blog for a little while my son was like 3, 4, 5, 6 months old, just to give me something to do. And then later in life, I was like, you know what? Why don't I turn Momstrosity into a podcast and maybe someone will listen? And if you don't, that's okay, because I'm still going to put myself out there into the world, and it is my thought process that if any of the stories that come onto Momstrosity help at least one person, then I've done my due diligence and it's served its purpose. Anything outside of that is just an extra bonus of love and joy and peace and solace, whatever this brings you. I've already got an awesome guest list, so to speak, lined up for some of my episodes coming up, and I think they're going to be obviously difficult or triumphant stories or just resilient stories. Like I said, I want it to be a place for everybody. So this is Momstrosity podcast, where we are unhinged, not unaware. Now, let's tackle 2025 together and where I've been, because I've not picked up a microphone since 2024. And it is because from January 1st of 2025, it has been one thing after another, after another, after another. And I wish I was making that up. Last year, it all started, I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes edition. I'm not going to bore you, okay? And maybe I will bore you, and I'm sorry if I do. But basically, I went to visit my mom and my bonus dad for a late Christmas trip. I had never been to Washington, D.C. I wanted to go. I'm a big history buff. I wanted to see all the things, okay? And we drove my minivan, did fine, made it to Virginia just fine. We're good. We're great. We take it to D.C., and, of course, if you've been to Washington, D.C., you know it's a lot of touch and go traffic. So you're stopping, you're going, you're stopping, you're going, you're stopping, you're going. So my first pet peeve is with whoever made the auto stop start. I'm all for taking care of the environment. Please don't come for me. But that's what we thought was going to fix it. Please. So I know that's the bane of my van's problems, and it created larger problems. So my van broke down the first day I get to Washington, D.C. with my entire family in tow, my kids, my parents, my husband, and it is obviously stressful, so I can't even really enjoy the trip, and it pops a transmission light. Great. Okay. Very next day, we are able to get it back to our trip back to my mom's house to at least get it somewhere safe so we're not stranded in DC. However, when we get it there, we take it to a transmission shop that's like right next door, and they're like, hey, bad news, babes. Your transmission needs completely replaced, like completely. She got to go. And I'm like, oh, okay. How much does that cost? Oh, $10,000. Are you hearing me? $10,000 on a 2018 Chrysler Pacifica. 10 grand. 10 grand on a vehicle probably not even worth that. Okay? Anyways, that wasn't going to work. So with the help of my dad back home, we shipped the vehicle back. I'm thinking, wait a minute. I have a warranty still. Call the warranty company. Oh, it ran out 600 miles ago. Isn't she precious? Anyways, so get the vehicle home like 3 weeks later, get the transmission fixed. I put a used one in there because I don't have $10,000 laying around. Kudos to you if you do. Love that for you. Got through all that, thought, hey, life's going to chill out. We're good. Everything's fine. It wasn't fine. We get to about April, May. I think it's May. Yeah, it was May, because it was right around the time my cousin got married. Matter of fact, it happened on his wedding day. And my husband's truck starts acting really funny. And we're like, weird. And I was like, wouldn't that be terrible? And I'm talking to you, GM. Wouldn't it be terrible if, like, your engine's going out like all these other Chevy vehicles that I'm hearing about? Oh, my God, terrible. I'm like, but we're fine. We already went through, like, one big thing. Totally fine. It was the camshaft and the lifts. It was the camshaft and the lifts. It was the camshaft and another like $10,000 mechanic job, by the way. But good news, my husband had a warranty. Bad news, the dealership we bought my van from is the same place we bought my husband's truck from. And thought we were buying the same warranty. We were assured it was the bumper to bumper, like everything's good. Well, they sold us a very janky warranty that I found out later, like after 30 days of selling it, the actual owner that I talked to, they stopped selling it. That's how bad it was. Like, they did not like the reputation that it brought. So we needed basically a total engine replacement in his truck, and we could not afford that, of course. Do I look like I hit the lottery? No. And I'm not a Nepo baby. So, get that all lined out. Turns out the warranty will only cover $3,400 of the entire job, even if it needs a total engine repair. That was the really fine print. And by the way, I have astigmatism and I'm -8 in both eyeballs. So ridiculous. Awesome. Love that for me. Had to save up over a couple months. Thankfully, the mechanic shop allowed us to kind of save what we could. The dealership tried to make some of it right for us, which I appreciate. They gave us like $2,000 to fix it. But the funny thing was, when we pulled in to the mechanic shop to drop my husband's truck off, I want you to know 90% of that lot was full of Chevy trucks. Like, that's how many vehicles were facing the same problem. So I'm like, terrible. These poor people. Nothing about me, because also the warranty company only covered $180 for a rental car, and my husband had to go back and forth to work, and I had to take my children to school. So we had to rent a vehicle for like 3.5, 4 months while trying to save to fix the truck. So that happened. That was great. I thought, what else could possibly happen to me? And a lot of things did, and they were more minor. They were like, my children aren't graceful. My son ended up having an ER bill, busted his chin at a birthday party. I ended up at the ER for like dehydration once over like a tummy thing. The washer went out. It was just, I swear to you, it was always something. Matter of fact, on New Year's Eve, my daughter was playing and she rammed her earring back into her ear. So we literally watched the ball drop, her and I, from a emergency room hospital cot. And I thought, so cinematic. Like, definitely icing on the cake of the year we have had. Great. Awesome. So that's how we spin it. And When I tell you, and I'm big on the mental health thing here on Momstrosity, if you aren't a listener and you are now, just understand, like, I do talk about it a ton because it's important to me. I've lived with anxiety and depression the majority of my life. I have ADHD, if you couldn't tell by all the squirrels as I'm talking to you. So, you know, there were times I had to pry myself out of bed. I wish for the life of me I was kidding, but I was bringing myself out of the bed constantly. Like, it was constant. So I was not able to pry myself out of bed because I was getting to the point, like, I'm waiting for a phone call from somebody to say, hey, this happened. Hey, this financial thing happened. Hey, this broke down in my truck. Hey, I need this. Hey. And I know that's just like adult life, but it was like, damn. Did you have to run me over like twice with the truck and then back up and hit me again? So I really noticed myself getting severely depressed. I mean, it was terrible. It was a lot of dissociation. I honestly can't remember a lot of good things that happened in 2025, and I know that's terrible. But I was on autopilot. Like, if it didn't involve, like, my kids and the things they did and loved, like, they got to enjoy new activities. My son, not my husband. My husband coaches baseball, but my son got to play travel ball for the first season and, you know, things like that I was so excited to experience as a mom. But I reflect, and it's like, I can't really think about the good things that I went through last year because I was oftentimes just trying my best to survive. I was drowning. I couldn't function. I couldn't breathe. I don't know how else to put it. It was very debilitating. And there's a song by an artist named Youngblood, and if you don't know him, like, go listen to him. He's great. Like, Ozzy Osbourne crowned this young man, like, pass the torch kind of situation, especially before he passed away. But he's got this song called Zombie. And I had heard it, like, really for the first time last year, right in the middle of the year. Honestly, probably when I needed to hear it. But it was like, so all I know I can't live without you. But this world will keep turning if you do. Would you even want me looking like a zombie? Because that's how I felt. And for the longest time when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this reminds me of when I worked in healthcare during COVID and I felt like a zombie. But I'm like, no, bitch, this is you now. This is you right now. You are like a zombie. Like, you are, lights are on, nobody's home. Like, you are on just genuinely autopilot all the time and not taking care of myself. And I stopped really going to the gym religiously, which was something that was an outlet for me. Like, I didn't have the ability to pour from my cup anymore. I was pouring into my family. I work a pretty rigorous job. I have a really, really difficult job. And we were going through like a really big process last year. So that took a lot. And then to top it off, I'm like, oh, I want my degree by my 30th birthday. So let's start that this year too. So I'm literally fighting for my life in school, taking care of my kiddos. My son has ADHD, and we've been navigating that because this year in particular has been really difficult, and we've been dealing with the bullying thing. That's been awful because I've seen the toll it's taken on him. And I know, like, as a parent, it's like when you see your kids struggling like that and then you yourself are struggling, obviously I'm backburnering my issues for my kids' issue. Is that healthy all the time? No, but I'm going to give my children every piece of me, even if it's the last piece of me. That's just how I roll, I guess. So 2025 was really, really hard. But I think the hardest part of 2025 for me wasn't even, like, yes, I went through a lot and it was terrible. And I was very vocal about what we were going through because I'm just an open book. So, like, if I'm going through something, yeah, I'm probably going to post about it because I hope someone else sees it. That was my husband and I, years ago, bouncing our bank account to make ends meet with a new baby on the way. Like, I hope they can see, oh, struggle, but success, struggle, but, and it gives them a reason. So a lot of people in my life obviously were seeing that. And I guess what's difficult is if I see somebody struggling, especially like in my circle, I am the kind of person, like, I'm reaching out. What you need? How are you? I try and check in with my peeps anyways, but it's like when I know they're going through something really significant that is probably just messing with their head, I'm on it. Like, I'm there for you. Here I am. Whatever you need, whether it's a listening ear, whether you need me to go get you some groceries, whatever it is that you need from me, like, I want to take care of that. I want to be there for people. And I've genuinely struggled with, like, I'm not saying I wanted people to be like all up in my biz and like, hey, let me fix everything for you, because like, that's not how I am. It's just the people that were really reaching out and making sure I'm okay were like my 3 very best friends, and they all live hours and hours away from me, the furthest being Orlando, Florida. Those were the people checking on me 9 times out of 10, except for like, I have a really good friend that literally lives like across the road that I've befriended, and she's seen the struggle and been there for me. Like, that's great. But people I would have like suspected maybe would be there, they weren't. And it was just really eye-opening for me, because this whole year I'm like trying to figure out, what do I pour my energy into? What do I pour my energy into? What do I take care of? But also, how do I take care of my people, right? And it was really difficult for me to not feel reciprocation from a lot of people. It was really difficult to not only, and it's not even mainly about me, but like checking in on my family, checking in on, how's my husband taking this? Because I know it's mentally tolling on him. He's not a vocal guy about it. Like, he's very much harbors it inside and then talks about it later, but like, nobody was really checking in on us. And it really shifted my perspective of who and what gets my energy from this point forward in my life, which has been a blessing and a curse, because I've always been one that's like, oh, let me help, let me fix. I'm a fixer. I want to fix things. I want to take care of people and fix things for them and be there in their time of need. Even when they don't need me, I'll just check in and be like, hey, haven't heard from you in a while. Are you good? Like, everything good? But yeah, like I said, it's really opened my eyes. I've also been exposed to like a lot of situations that old me, I would have been like, yep, 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 yep. I'm firing back at people because, like, one thing about me, I do stand 10 toes down on things, especially when it comes to like my kids or whatever, but I just wasn't giving it the energy. You heard a rumor about me? Okay, great. I that sounds really cool. I did that. Awesome. Like, I could not find a single less of a shit to give because I was so empty. Y'all could have made up the bestest rumor in your life. Like, some of you all do. Some of you do it. I've been guilty of it, and I've repented. I'm now at the point where people are like, hey, heard you said this about me from so-and-so, and you think, well, did you get all of it, or do I need to repeat some of it? Like, I don't care. Like, I will say it to your face, but I've been exposed to so many people who are like, I just love this person. This person's fantastic. And then they're the first one to judge them when a pillar falls. And that is not what I want in my bubble. That's not what I want in my kids' bubble. So I have kind of like closed off myself and also like my kids from people like that, because it's like, I just know what deserves my energy. That ain't it, babe. That is not it anymore. That is not it for me. And if you're listening and you've got people in your circle that may say, love you, care about you, whatever, and they don't have to be like really close people, but it's just like, if you're in a small town like me, like, people that just usually check in or whatever, and you're noticing they're only checking in when you can do things for them, Control Alt Delete. That is my advice, because you have to protect your peace, especially when you're going through like I don't want to say I was in crisis mode, but I mean, there were times, trigger warning, but I mean, there were times like I would genuinely never do anything to myself. Like, I really wouldn't, because I'm so scared of dying. However, there were times I'm like, I kind of don't really want to wake up tomorrow, because what am I going to be dealing with? And there's no one there to help me deal with it outside of like our immediate family, you know? And that's hard. That's really a hard pill to swallow. The village does not exist like we think it does. It may exist when you are the village for others, but when it's other people's turn to be the village for you, it's kind of funny how that no longer exists. And I really struggled with that. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times I begged my husband to pack our bags and move me to Florida, where I'll be happy in the sunshine. I won't have to take vitamin D in the winter, and I can be around my bestie, and I can be near my favorite place, which is Disney, and just kind of escape it. Because it's like, I think when you live in a small town, it's got its blessings, and there are really, really good people in my town. They're really, really fantastic people. It's tight-knit. It's great. But it's also hard, because it's like, dang, people that I've probably known like my whole life are nowhere to be found when I'm fighting for my life. Like, when I'm fighting to claw out of a hole, when I'm just trying to exist and breathe. It's really eye-opening. It's a really eye-opening experience. And if you ever feel like that, like, there was a time I went through guilt, like, oh, they've got busy lives too. And it's like, I had busy lives too. And I still made the room for those people. I still dropped everything to be there for people that probably I barely knew. And I want to make that impact. I will never not help people. But when I see patterns and lack of reciprocation, that's really where I have to draw hard boundaries. I was choking on the word there. That's really where you've got to just set things apart and really hone in on what you want for yourself, what you want for your family. Because at the end of the day, that is what is the most important. And the worst thing is, like, when you're at rock bottom or you're going through something big, and that's when people want to show up. Like, I love that people show up. But it's like, where were you when things were okay? Where were you to reach out, make sure I'm good before the public chaos? I saw something, and I'm not going to like fully bring up the story or anything, like, but there was a person in my community, somebody that is younger, that was diagnosed out of the blue, like with cancer. And I happened to come across a post, and I'm not quoting it per verbatim, but it really struck me, because it was like, I'm so thankful for all the support, you know, given my diagnosis. But it really would have been nice, again, I'm not quoting the post, but it really would have been nice basically to like hear from people like that she knew from the past well before her diagnosis. And I'm like, holy shit. Now, I don't think she's ungrateful for the help. That is not what I'm saying. And I would never not be grateful if I was going through something like that, or people in my family were going through something like that, and people rallied around us. That's a beautiful thing. But she's talking about like friends, family, maybe old classmates. Y'all are coming out of the woodwork now? Why have you not checked on me before? Like, that's hurtful. That is so hurtful. That is such an impactful thought process. And I'm like, damn. That just put so much into perspective for me after the year I had, and then seeing something like that. And I'm like, dang. Y'all don't come out of the woodwork sometimes until something big happens to somebody. And that's not what community should always be. I mean, yes, rally around these situations. Oh my God. Rally around these situations. Take care of our people. But it's kind of a devastating feeling when maybe you text your friend, hey, hope you're doing well. And you kind of just hope for a freaking response back. Hey, I'm great, or hey, I'm not great, but I see you're going through something. How are you? Do you need anything? Are you good? Are you okay? Are you and your family okay? It's that simple, and we all get busy. But damn, we got to take some time to check in with our people before we're putting them 6 feet in the ground. I genuinely hope I live to see my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren grow up. I hope that I'm blessed. What a privilege it is to get old, and I hope I get to get old. I'm hoping I get to live a very long, long life. I do not want to be 100 years old paying taxes. Putting that request in now. But what a privilege to age. What a privilege to grow old. I hope that, but it's one of those things. I told my husband, I'm like, listen, there is a list of people. If I die, please don't let me, but if I go early, all right, there's a list of people not allowed up in my funeral, okay? Because where were you when I had a pulse? Where were you when I had a pulse? You were not checking on me. And I know that sounds awful, but it's like we've got to prioritize the people that prioritize us and ours. And we can't always be there for everybody all the time. But dang it, if you're listening right now and there's a friend you've not checked on in a long time, reach out to them. Reach out to them. I can't tell you how many times, thankfully, like I said, 3 very closest gal pals in my life, my very, very best friend, shout out to you, Erica, are one of the biggest reasons I survived last year. And I don't know how I would have done it without them. I don't know how I would have gotten through it without, hey, motivational text, checking in, you good? Are you grounded? Like, all good. That's what people just need. I'm not asking for your time all the time. I'm just asking for a thought. I'm just asking to be a thought in your mind for just a minute, because I'm probably always thinking about you. Even if we're not really close, I think about people's children and how they're doing, and I hope they're enjoying things, and I hope they're not going through what my son's going through with being bullied. I'll never not care and love about people. Like, I will love so, so big. I will love so, so big. But I also have to lay boundaries, because there's 2 sets of eyes watching how I formulate boundaries, and they need to know that it's okay, even if I'm the one they have to set the boundary with, because I've crossed the line, and I hope I never do. I hope I never do, but listen, I'm their mom. There's a time I'm probably going to meddle a little too hard, but I got to teach them what community, what chosen family means, what friendships mean, what all that means. And yes, people come to us in their time of need, but I don't want people to only come to me in my time of need. I want you guys to just check in. And I know that's what other people want, and they're just maybe too afraid to say it. So if you're listening, check on your people. Please check on your people. Make sure they're doing okay. It is so, so, so important. And I really wanted to keep this episode back short and sweet. Explain to you guys where in the hell I have been. Okay? Basically under a rock. Stacked under another rock, under another rock, under a building, under a bridge. But I have managed since the last time we talked to get more tattoos. So I call that a win, if you ask me. I am a walking art piece. And speaking of my art, in a couple episodes, I will be having Mr. Kyle McIntosh back, my tattoo artist, but he's so much more than that. Incredible artist. Love his story. And I think you guys will really resonate with what he has to say. I've got a couple other really phenomenal guests coming up. One of my friends is going to be promoting her upcoming single. And we're going to be talking about one of my friends that went through the grief process last year. And it really put a lot of things into perspective for me and for my family. And so many more stories to say, but I will finish with this. This is probably going to be backwards, but I'm so excited. It's kind of got a glare. I've got official Momstrosity stickers, and if you want one, I would love to mail you one with a handwritten thank you note, thanking you for supporting my podcast. And if you want to tell me when you reach out for a sticker what Momstrosity means to you or why you're excited for it, I'd love to hear it, because I'll be so honest, the welcome back that rallied around me is the whole reason that I really invested in my own equipment to do this my way, on my terms. And I can't thank you guys for supporting me enough. If you haven't already, you can find me on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. I'll try and sort through adding to the others. But those are the 3 main ones that you can find me at. And if you're looking for me on social media, I'm on Facebook. Shout out to everybody that's got me well over 500 page followers. Like, are you kidding? And if you go there, or my Instagram, I'm doing a giveaway. And you have until midnight tonight, which is not really tonight because I obviously shot this well before today, but February 5th. After that, I'm picking someone to win a prize out of my giveaway, and that comes with some official Momstrosity merch. Shout out to Mama Momstrosity, my mom. She is making me some merch, and we're doing a cool giveaway there. You can always jump in the inbox if you want to get on an episode with me. Okay, sorry, I had to cut that. As you can see, my eyes are watering because I just went on a coughing fit, but I went that whole time without one. So I call that a win. But anyway, as I was saying, I'll have official Momstrosity merch, t-shirts, really cool cups, and magnets that I'll just be giving out. Of course, those I'll give out. But if you want some Momstrosity merch and you want to help promote my podcast, I would love that so much. But again, social media wise, after I just tried to cough to death, is on Instagram, Momstrosity Podcast. You can find me on the Facebook page. 500 followers and counting, well over that now. So thank you for doing that for me. I am on TikTok as well, but I want to bring Ask Momstrosity back. I love hearing your guys' questions. It can be about whatever, and I'll pick like 2 or 3, and I'll try and answer your questions, or if you want some advice. I don't know that I'm the person to give it to you, but hell, I'll give it a whirl. And I think really that is it. This is Momstrosity Podcast, Episode 1, Season 2. She is back. I'm hopefully better than ever. I am so excited to be talking to you guys and just getting through this thing called life. As I said before, I hope you stay unhinged but not unaware. I'm Kelsie. I will see you next episode. Thank you so much for supporting me and my little podcast streams. Bye.